Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sibu Mpanza. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Yolanda Mpanza, too. Welcome back to the channel. We made a video last week where, what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about how we met.
Yes.
And that was a really fun video to make, and you guys seem to enjoy it. At the end of that video, we asked you guys to leave some questions so that we can kind of make a part 2. And you guys respectively, one of those two words, obliged. And you left some really nice questions, and so that's what we're going to do now. We're going to answer them. Thank you very much for those questions, but also thank you to the members who support this channel. If you enjoyed this video, please consider joining the membership gang. We'd really appreciate it. Okay, right into the questions.
Hey. Gang looking rigorous. My champagne, but I'm rigorous. My campaign looking rigorous. Whole team hella rigorous. Lifestyle so rigorous. Hairstyle so rigorous. Your top 5 ain't rigorous if you left out this rigorous. Rigorous. Me and my niggas is rigorous.
Rigorous. Okay, you ready?
Rigorous. Reason.
Not reason. Hey! Reason. Reason was rigorous recently, my goodness. Okay, first question is, how did you know it was the right time to introduce the kids? A couple of you guys asked this question in like different ways. So just overall, it was talking about Yolanda's thinking, right time to introduce the kids. And I think you got this question because a lot of women experience the same thing. I'm thinking if I was a lady, this would be one of the hardest things ever. So I understand.
It's a hard question even to answer because I don't really know when was the right time to say, okay, let me introduce my man to my kids. Especially because I never lived with my kids, and so I didn't have a thing of like they weren't here at the time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to find a babysitter to go to yours, I didn't have to ask one of my friends to go on a date with you or whatever, and then decide maybe 4 or 5 dates down the line that actually you can meet my kids.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they're far away, and so I don't know. But I think it was like after a year of us dating.
It was after a while.
Yeah, it was after a while.
Then answer this. How did things change from a guy never meeting your kids to you being open to me meeting your kids?
Ooh.
Because obviously something had to change. You were vehemently against any man meeting your kids. And then at a certain point you were open to me.
I think it's because of how like we spoke a lot about it. We spoke a lot about...
Yeah, we did.
We spoke a lot about marriage, and I had never had that before. Like, I had never spoken to any guy. I don't like guys like that. About marriage, possibly moving my kids in with them. We spoke a lot about that, and so I thought...
That's true. I guess when you say it like that, like, I think I was very... I don't know, like, I guess intentional. Okay, I hate calling myself intentional, but I was very intentional about saying, like, I would like to marry you someday. Like, I'm sure. I get it now. I get that feeling when people say, oh, you've met the one, you want to marry them. So I was like, I think I want to marry you one day. And also, because of how I felt about you and the way you spoke about the kids and your dreams, that I wanted to be part of those dreams. And those dreams included living with your kids.
Yes.
So I think I made it very obvious that I don't think you were ever confused on whether I am ready to meet the kids, because I was always open to it. At some point, I was still terrified, but like I was like, when the moment arises, when you're ready, if ever you are, I'm not going to fight back. Like, I'd love to meet the kids and the marriage thing. So it makes sense when you think of it like that. Like, with all those different facets together, it made it more comfortable. But
it did.
Yeah, ladies, if a man says he wants to marry you, it doesn't mean you must introduce him to your kids, because niggas be lying.
Yay.
Okay? So just be careful. I don't want to make it seem like, as soon as a guy's like, oh yeah, that you're like, okay,
Time to
now
meet my kids.
Sipho no Lutando, come over here. This man has said he wants to marry me.
No,
Let's do no.
Suss him out.
Yes, suss him out. So that makes sense actually when you say it like that. I completely forgot about that, but it does make sense that the way I was talking also, I think it would have reassured you that
and we had a lot of those conversations.
I brought it up a lot. I wanted the kids here, dude. Like, And especially, I don't know, I think the biggest thing was just seeing you and seeing you want to be there all the time, want to be around them. And I felt like you were really missing out on a big part of your life that was so significant. So I think it just made sense for that to happen. And then you were just comfortable with it. Actually, I don't think we're ever really comfortable
We were
with it.
never comfortable with it.
We
We
never
talk
really.
about like how it would be having the kids here, but it was never a comfortable thing. Even you going to my house and meeting my mom.
Yo! Somebody didn't want me to go to the house. They wanted me to stay away, which makes sense. I mean, I think a lot of women feel like that, not necessarily for the same reasons as you, but they're like, you don't come to my house until you married me or whatever the case is. But yeah, I don't think we waited for ourselves to actually be ready.
Yeah.
I think we waited till we were comfortable in each other, and then we just had to jump into it. Because if we waited until we were really ready, I was never going to meet those kids, ever. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, you can't wait all the time to make decisions in your life.
Just make the decision.
Yeah, and then make the best out of the decision that you made. If we realized it was the wrong decision, it was too early, we were going to have to figure it out there and then. But I think we were lucky. It wasn't too early. It was just the right time.
Yeah,
and it really was. I think anything earlier than that would have been too early. Anything later than that would have been, I don't know, it would have just been weird.
It would have been weird.
You would have been leaving all the time to go see them, and I would miss you for like 2 weeks.
You wouldn't have any relationship with them.
Yes.
I'm literally living like double
lives,
like
yes, with them. That's true. You would have been living double lives. That wouldn't have been nice. Like,
it wasn't nice because I've been living like that for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I've been dating someone or speaking to someone and maybe speaking about my kids here and there, but
it's separate.
Yeah, it's separate from.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't understand what you're talking about half the time. If you brought up Umahle, okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
like, oh, lol.
And it's very like sickly. So if I would have to say, I have to go, Umahle is sick, I have to go home, you would be like, hey, boom, exactly.
Or like something about the way they act, the way they are, and I would just never be able to understand what you really mean. So yeah, it happened. It happened at the right time. So yeah, I'm quite happy about the way it went down. I'm really happy about the way it went down. The next question was, how did your mom feel about the transition? Oh, yes. I love this question because I've seen it in different ways.
Yeah.
One, my little sister lived with my gran growing up and my aunts. My sister also at a certain point didn't live at home. Us at home had kids that had to leave my mom. Like parents would come and fetch their kids after a few years of living with us. So I've seen my mom also have to go through like taking care of a baby or like I don't know, even sometimes like a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and then Balandwe at a certain point. So it can be really difficult. So how did you navigate that?
I think I prepped my mom.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I told her, I think beginning of the year, when did we take them last year? December. Yes. I told her at the beginning of the year that this is the year.
This time next year.
Yes. Like this year, at the end of the year, we're going to take the kids. So I think that helped ease her into the transition. But like, I don't know, you can never be ready to have your kids because they were basically her kids. You can never be ready having kids taken away from you. And they miss her so
they
much.
Miss her a lot,
and she missed Mahle even cried the other day. And I'm sure she misses him a lot as well. But they call each other.
Yeah. So I tell them all the time, Shem, that she misses you too, like so that they don't feel like they're kind of like abandoned by their gran. But they miss her a lot, Shem. I think that's so smart, like letting them know in good time. Also, I think it was a mixture of letting her know, repeating it so that she understands you're not just saying this or thinking about it. You plan to, next time this year, I'm gonna come over in December, but I'm gonna leave with the kids. And then also the kids coming over to us gave her that feeling of, damn, they're not always here, like, yes, it's only in the holidays, but she gets that feeling of 1 week, 2 weeks without the kids, 1 week without the kids. Even the weekends where we would go to PE and take them, the kids, she kind of gets that feeling of, okay, this is how it feels to not have the kids around. But Yeah, shame they miss her a lot. Yo, they cried. That first, they were very strong, and then they just had this moment, maybe a week, 2 weeks in, where they just fell apart and they started crying. And we went in, we were like, "What's wrong, guys? What's wrong?" And we were like, "Skumbulu, mama lela." And I was like, "Oh man!" And so Sesabatutzela and everything, and shame, it was sad. Like they really do miss her. So we're planning for them to go visit her one of the holidays. You know, you have to go to your grand's house in the holidays. It only makes sense. So that's kind of our plan to mitigate that, and so that they still feel close to their gran.
So mentally prepping your parents.
Mentally prep your parents with anything that you do. Mentally prep them, because it is difficult. I think you need to understand, Shem, as much as you're like, they're my kids, you need to understand that you've now passed them over for a significant amount of time. And so it's going to be emotionally jarring for your parents or whoever the guardian is that you've left your kids in the care of, that you're going to take them back. That's difficult. My mom struggled, dude. My aunt also, I remember, struggled when we took my sister. It was not easy at all. But yeah, I guess that's how you did it. Okay. Next question. How was it meeting each other's parents? Well, about my parents. I'm sorry, that was dark.
Sorry.
I think my mom made you sneeze there. How was it meeting each other's parents? Okay, with your mom, I was terrified. I was.
You were.
I was like, there was a part of me that didn't want to go into the house. I think both me and your mom were scared of meeting each other.
Yes. Oh my God.
We're both very shy.
That was so hard to mitigate because you're she's like,
she's very shy.
Yes, like she doesn't know what she's gonna say to him. She just does. She's beside herself. Sibu Mpanza is trying so hard to impress her.
Yes,
it was hard.
Yeah, it was terrifying. So it happened. I met Yolanda's mom that weekend that we went. When I met the kids, when we took them back before our flight back to Joburg, I obviously had to drop them off. I think I'd hired a car. We dropped them off, and then obviously, like, I'm not just going to be in the car, drop the kids off, and then zoom away. Respectfully, I had to go inside, and so I did, and my heart, dude. And then she came out, and I was like, Yolanda in 50 years. Okay, not 50, your mom's not that old, but like... Yeah. It was scary. They look just like each other. She just looks like an older version of Yolanda. And so I greeted her, and she was very nice. She was smiling at me, very warm and welcoming. But I could clearly see she was very shy, just as I was. So you just have these two awkward people meeting each other.
And I'm just there standing.
She's there standing there on the side of us like, hey, how y'all doing? Like... Say something, help us here, we need you. You are the tether between the two of us. But it went well. And then I think every time I met her after that, like we both got more and more comfortable with each other. By the time we were getting married this December,
was very comfortable.
We were besties. Your mom and I, we were besties.
She even calls him Da.
Yeah, she calls me Da also. The first time I heard it, I was like, who are you talking to? Old lady? Like, you are my senior, don't call me that, but... Yeah. I call her mama also, so yeah. And then with her meeting my parents, she obviously never got to meet my parents. My father passed away when I was very young, for those who don't know. And my mother passed away while we were dating, but they had never actually met. We had spoken about you quite a lot. My mom and I talked a lot. I was very open with my mom. I told her about me meeting you before we even started dating.
I think the first weekend when we had to go watch your brother.
Yes.
I remember you were on a call with her.
And I told her. We were yapping, dude. My mom and I used to yap, and so I told her. But also at the same time, there was a time when you came to watch my brother play rugby, and my aunt also came. And so my aunt spoke to her sister, and she was like, "Hey, there's this girl with your boy." And my mom's like, "I know," but she's like, "No, she's gorgeous. Like, you need to talk to him about it." And she's like, "No, we talk about it." And I think sisters were talking. But my mom liked her very, very much, like a lot. I even have texts that I would show I would show Yolanda about what my mom said about her, and she said a lot of positive things without knowing that she was ever going to see them.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to still have like those like texts of her saying such wonderful things about her. And yeah, even when we spoke about the kids, I'm so happy my mom left knowing about the kids, because obviously I was very open, so I said that to her straight away. She was like, she's got 2 kids, show me pictures. My mom had the exact same response as I did when I found out that Yolanda, when we were on the phone. When I told her she's got 2 kids, my mom said, send me pictures right now, I want to see those cuties. And she was like, oh, that's so crazy, because your dad also made me having had your sister already, so this is not something new. And the way your dad loved your older sister, like, I think this is something that can definitely work as long as you're open about it and you're welcoming and you are prepared to love those kids as if they were your own, because your dad loved your sister as if she was his own. So yeah, my mom was very open about it. She was very excited to meet her. Unfortunately, that never happened, but she liked her very much. Even after, when my sister moved in here, we were just having random conversations about my mom, and she was like, yeah, the way mom would talk about Yolanda. I'm like, wait, but wait, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, she used to talk about her all the time to us. She used to say, yabona ka ufundile, une degree, busi, yabo. But apparently, yeah, she used to talk about her quite a lot, which was news to me. So it's nice to have that like extra bit of lore about my mom even after she's passed away. So yeah, that's all in all about meeting the parents. Do you plan on having any more kids in the future? Guys, we have 2 kids already, okay? 2 grown kids who eat like monsters, okay? But how do you feel? Let's start with you.
So, I've always said this to Sibu when we started dating, well, throughout our relationship, that I had never gotten a chance to be with my kids as babies. So I don't know the waking up at 2 a.m. and breastfeeding and sleeping at 5 and being exhausted, and I don't know that life at all with both my kids. And so I really want to experience that. So for me, I really would like more kids. And I've always wanted more kids.
How many? Tell them how many you told me you
wanted. I wanted 6 at some point.
When we started talking, she was like, I want a big family. I want 6, because there weren't a lot of us at home.
Literally, there was just me and my brother. My sister and I met at a later stage in my life, but like it was just me and my brother for the longest time. So.
6. I mean, that's something I'm used to. There was like 6 of us at home.
Yes.
It was me, my older sister, my little brother, my cousins who came to stay over for years at a time, my niece, my nephew. It's always been
That's why I like going to his house, actually.
Because there's a lot of us.
There's a lot of people. And that's how I want, like, I like having them here. Like, sister wako with all the kids.
She thrives. I'm like, I lived that life. I like my solitary confinement now. And I think that's just the case with a lot of like people growing up, is people who tend to have bigger families want to be kind of alone, not to not have kids, but less. And people who sometimes grew up alone want like bigger families when they're older. For me, the whole kids thing was always up in the air. I was always like whatever my partner wants, I'm open to it. So if I end up, before Yolanda, if I end up not having kids, I don't think I would ever feel like, oh no, I regret this, not ever having kids. And if I ever had a kid, I don't think I would ever think, oh man, I never wanted a kid. How did I find myself in this situation? So I've always been like, whatever my partner wants, I'm open to it. Let's see what they want. 6 kids. That was not on my
I don't want
bingo cards.
Kids anymore. Since I've lived with my kids.
Okay,
now. No.
Now you know. I think I have fallen in love with these kids so much that it hurts me deeply inside that I was not there when they were little. And so to add on to your point about never being there or not being there as much as you would have wanted when they were babies, I think I feel the same. Obviously differently, but I feel the same. Like, the fact that I never got to see Lolo's chubby cheeks and Mashe's big ass head when they were babies is really sad for me. But at the same time, like, I'm happy that I'm here now, but I would have loved to be there to change their nappies. I would have loved to be there to deal with Umashe when he was colicky. Like, it would have been nice to do that. So yes, I am open to having a newborn in the house, but it stresses me because seeing these kids, I'm like, we're gonna bring another one into the world. Woo-wee! Imagine having to deal with him like, this, and Ulolo, can you help me with my homework? Umashe, can we go kick a ball? Yo. That stresses me out, that thought. But at the same time, like, I think we can handle anything.
Yeah.
If we do it, we have to do it soon, though, because apparently with men over the age of 30, once you start crossing that 30 threshold, a lot of men think it's the woman, but apparently men, after 30, the count goes down. All of a sudden, you start struggling, thinking, I have all the time in the world. So since I'm 30, we're going to have to...
They think they're all Jacob Zumas.
Exactly. We're going to have to do this sooner rather than later. But that's if it happens. We will see. Let's see what the universe wants for us. But yeah, I guess the answer to that is that we're on the side of not wanting and the side of wanting. We are closer to this side. Yo! I'm here. She's here. But neither of us are on this side, for real. Yeah, man. Ulolo as a baby, when I look at those pictures, I'm like, I just want to bite on those cheeks.
And she was so chubby. Oh.
Stop talking about it. You're hurting my feelings. Okay, let's see. What's next? What was your favorite thing about each other when you met? What is your favorite thing now?
You start.
Okay, I see you trapping me. You want to listen to my thing first. My favorite thing about you when we met... You know, everybody calls me like intentional all the time. I think you were the most intentional person I met. I kind of spoke about this in the last video, but you made it very clear that uyandifuna ngapha kwe first. Okay? You did not hide it. And I really, really loved it. I loved the feeling of being wanted. I loved the feeling of being listened to. I loved the feeling of being adored. It was such a nice feeling to feel like uyandifuna lo mntu, they want me around. Every time you used to text me and be like, can I come over? I'd be like, yes, like, that's what I want. Not like, hey, you can come over if you want to, or like we're seeing each other every now and then. Like, you would text me, yo, dude, I would like to spend the night or the week or whatever. Like, and even when, like, we would chill for 2 days and I would think that you're about to say, I'm gonna go, then nope, you'd stay the next night. And I'd be like, this is what I want. Like, you made it very clear from the get-go that Bunfuna, and at no point was I confused about that. And it was a really nice feeling to feel like diafunwa and like oko in every facet, in every way, no matter what. Like I definitely felt that way, that no, you wanted me around. It was never a, if you want to, or maybe. You also nonchalant. Yes, you weren't nonchalant. You weren't like if you want. And yeah, man, it was a really nice feeling. You'd be like, can I come over? I'd be like, yes, please come over. I'm outside. What? Yeah, be shy. Look at them.
And then I knew the security guards.
Guys, sometimes I just hear a knock at my door. In my head, I'm like, security? Like, is there no security? But I see Amazulu. But hi, Yolanda. Hi, but again,
I don't even call at the gate.
Nothing. She would just rock up, which is really nice. It made me feel really wanted. So I think that's the thing that I really liked about you. My favorite thing about you, I guess back then, also, you were not bad to look at. Let me tell you something. Every day I would just look at it and I'd be like, wow. When we were all standing in line to choose abantu bethu, ndafakwa in the front of a line. Davuka early, guys, at the butt crack of dawn. I was up, okay, brushed my teeth, took a shower, and I was standing first 4 a.m. at Home Affairs. That in ndifuna lo. Ndifuna lo. And I got the cream of the crop, as you can see, okay? And my favorite thing about you now, I think is watching you being a mom. Like I said, I always wanted to see you like that. And the fact that I got to actually do it. Like, I'm not saying that Zautini, like I was the one who made this dream come true. But now that it's happening and now that you've achieved it, I love seeing you actually do it. We used to talk about this like it was a far thing. Oh yeah, when you live with your kids, when you do this, when you do that. Yes, Yolanda, it's going to be wild. When it's today, Baba.
Wow.
It's right. They are at school. I have to go fetch them soon. So yeah, I think I really love watching you being a mom to them and seeing you finally do the thing that you wanted to do. That's probably my favorite thing about you now, watching you mothering every single day, which is not easy.
Hey, it's not.
But you do it really well, babe.
Really
You genuinely do. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're a really good mom. You're a really good mom. 2 months and counting. Okay, you're
My
up.
favorite thing about you. Stress.
I'm listening.
My favorite thing, I don't know how to answer this question because there's so many things that I really liked about you. I mean, obviously. But one of my favorite things about you as I got to know you, like in that first few months, was that you really like will do something. And I think that gave me motivation. Like, if you set your mind to doing something, you will do it. Whether you had a depressive episode yesterday, today, if you woke up and you said you were going to do something, you really will do something. And your dedication to your work, this is not about relationships, obviously, but like your dedication to your work, I don't know if I would be able to do something for 10 plus years. Like, no. Your dedication to your work was very, like, it was one of my favorite things about you at the time. It still is, because you really still are dedicated to your work. In terms of our relationship, one of my favorite things about you was that you were kind. I haven't met a lot of kind men. Men in South Africa are not that kind. And so when I met you, especially when you talk about having kids with them, I'll call her like kindness. You had that, and I really, really appreciated that about you. And you were compassionate and loving.
Okay, I don't like this anymore.
And also, like, I loved having, like, my favorite thing about you was that how earlier on we had conversations about my kids. Like, I told you about them, and then we didn't have to wait months in order to talk about them, or talk once in a while about them. Like, we talk about them as if they were already here when they weren't, you know. Like, I really appreciated that, and I loved that about you. Now I love seeing you as a dad. Let me tell you guys something,
please.
guys. Sibu, I really, really, really appreciate you. I don't know how I would parent my kids if it wasn't for him, Shem. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. Sibu currently learning how to play chess from scratch, because the last time was in primary school. He's learning how to play chess because Auntie Cyan got Lolo that chess board with the pieces. He's learning that. He's spending hours doing that so that he can teach them how to do it. Please tell me that is not dedication to being a dad.
Yeah, I don't want them to play some whack chess. Also, I don't want to teach them like bad things, so I have to learn it first and then teach them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you being a dad, outside of you being a lover, because he's an amazing lover, please. Outside of you being a lover, I think you are doing so incredibly well at being a dad, and you're so inspiring to me, even because I have bad habits.
We both have bad habits. Okay,
yeah,
we do.
But I think I'm learning so much from you, as opposed to you learning a lot from me. at being a parent?
I think I'm learning a lot from you all the time, please. But I think for me, on the parenting side of things, like I literally just, every day, I like ask myself, what would my mom have done in this particular parenting scenario? Not that she was a perfect parent in no regard, you know. She was very close to it, but she also had her flaws. But 9 times out of 10, I ask myself, like, what would my mom have done? Because I think then I'll probably get it right. Like, even yesterday when we were at the netball and we were watching Ulolo's first ever netball game. Ooh, tough watch, guys. But there's lots to do, lots of work to do. And I was shy. I was like, firstly, I'm one of the only men here. Like, no dads come to watch their daughters playing netball. And then at the same time, I was like, let me be quiet. Let me not be too like rambunctious in front of everyone. And then in my head, my mom's voice was like, when did I ever shut up in any of your games? Whether you were playing rugby, hockey, whether you were in the A team or the D team, when was I ever quiet? You always knew that I was there. Even if you weren't looking, you could hear me shouting, Sibu, Tatibola, Kijima, Booyah, Taklisha. And so in the back of my head, I was like, okay, that's what I should be doing. And so while all the parents were sitting and watching, I'm there holding on to the fence, screaming, Lolo, run, turn back, pass the ball, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's just watching this guy. And I'm like, I don't care a damn. I'm going to scream so that my daughter knows that I'm right there watching her and enjoying the game with her and being present. So I think for me, when it comes to parenting, it's just, I genuinely just ask myself, what would my mom have done? Except when it comes to the butt whooping. We don't whoop our kids. And if I asked what would my mom have done, she would have whooped that ass. She would have whooped that ass. So definitely I take some and I leave some. But yeah, man, I love being their dad. It's genuinely my favorite part of my day. Even now I'm thinking about like when I fetch them from school, when they come back, maybe we'll go do the groceries together instead of me going to just do them alone while Sisters is out.
I'm going to see baby.
Going to lunch with Bexterino. But like things like that make me really realize that I enjoy being a dad. Like I would much rather have my kids at a grocery store with me than go and do it alone. So I really love their company. I love being their dad. Also, they're amazing children. Like they don't make it difficult at all. Even when they're being naughty, they're just being kids. Yes. Like they're not being anything other than being kids. Kids are supposed to push the boundaries. They're supposed to test you here and there. So yeah, man, I enjoy being their kids and I enjoy being your husband.
I enjoy being your wife.
Stop! Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for dropping your questions. Thank you to the members who have joined. We really appreciate you guys. And we'll see you soon with another video. Next week, probably it'll be a vlog, even maybe. The reason there haven't been that many vlogs is because I'm trying not to shove the camera in my kid's face all the time, and they're a big part of my day. So if I was to have the camera out, they would probably be there. So a vlog every now and then, but I'm still shooting, don't worry. Other than that, we'll see you guys soon with another one. I love you with all of my heart. Peace.